Hi, I'm Ann Michaels, founder of Green Pastures Living, where we provide affordable housing and assistance to resources for senior citizens who live independently and wish to remain rooted in rural living. Currently, my organization is hosting a Facebook photo contest to rural living, so I thought I'd begin today with my rural Wisconsin roots. I grew up with parents who had me later in life, and I feel that generation instilled in me the value of caring for our elders and the value of being outside. As we look at this picture again, I want to point out my neighbor's family farm across the street. Their story, as well as mine, illustrate the reason why Green Pastures Living exists and how important our mission in retaining our values for our seniors. How we care for our elders has changed within our society, but I'm confident that we can fulfill the great need to foster a community of support with them with Green Pastures Living. Although not related, my family is very close to Melvin and Mary Culk. Being part of their lives showed me the generational shift in how we care for our elders. Melvin was born on that family farm, and he told me stories of how he cared for his parents and his grandparents. Their only son, however, moved to California, and with his generation and next, the proximity of families and their disconnection increased, thus making the nuclear family no longer solely dependent on caring for aging parents. Back across the street, with my own family, I experienced this shift with my own father's declining health and his need for more assistance in housing. We found no rural senior housing options, and the available suburban ones were not affordable to us. He ended up far away from his community, and in less than 2 years spent most of his life saving, not leaving much for my mother. This story is not exclusive to my family. Millions of middle-income seniors are in the same financial situation. I created Green Pastures Living to meet the need for independent senior housing in rural areas that are affordable and attractive to the retired workforce, that's in familiar, green and growing setting, and that it has community engagement and resources for caregiving, so that people can remain rooted in rural living. Currently, developers build large suburban complexes for mostly the high-income seniors. In the next year, we plan to launch our housing pilot, ideal for the middle-income senior, that is practical and safe, where residents won't have to worry about maintenance. They could use their current home equity to afford their life lease and maintenance fee. Our new housing model will be a self-sustaining, supportive community. However, we need a great amount of support to get this started. We are currently seeking contributors to our foundational fund in order to launch. We agree with Beth Macy, who said this investment opportunity is large and growing, but first we need a place to begin. We need to partner with a community who desires to keep their seniors living in the area where they find belonging and whose partnerships demonstrate flexibility and commitment through the process of launching our first housing pilot site. We at Green Pastures Living are committed to advocating for the middle-income senior who doesn't qualify for government assistance, but who cannot afford the current senior housing, nor do they wish to relocate. We want to make each housing unit a viable piece to the local economy. Do you value a place that is green and growing, where you have a part to play and people have value throughout their entire lives? A community who wants affordable housing where people can retain their identity and pursue their interests as long as they can. The goal of Green Pastures Living is to provide an abundant life until the end. It has almost been a year since my neighbor Mary passed away at the age of 97. Her last words to us were filled with gratitude for my family being her valuable community of support. And that is what at Green Pastures Living we strive to duplicate. I'd like to thank Doyenne for all their support in helping me build a strong business plan. And I asked you to consider how you might support Green Pastures Living to provide affordable, independent housing for the ever-increasing middle-income senior so that they can remain rooted in rural living.